Tonight we're going to have a very interesting array of young people, mostly in first and second grade and a couple in third grade. And they're going to have an opportunity to share with you some special happenings that are occurring in their classroom. So, right here in front of me, we have two young people that I want to introduce to you at home. So, you get a chance to meet them, and they're going to share some of these special activities with you. We have our student cameraman who is working live. By the way, these shows are live coming to you this evening, and he's just doing a really good job because this is his, I believe, third or fourth time that he has performed and worked on a special live program such as this. So bear with us, and I think you'll find that he'll do a really good job of being your eyes. So, right here to my left, I'm going to get down here to this young lady, and why don't you introduce your name?
Kristen Hoppe.
All right, Kristen, and your name is
Gabe Barber.
Gabe. Okay, Gabe, so we have Gabe and Kristen, and your teacher, what's your teacher's name?
Miss Gaffner.
You're in what grade?
First.
And you're in first grade, too.
Yeah.
Good. All right, we have in front of us here some very interesting items. Let me just show them at the people at home. So we're going to have our cameraman kind of focus in and zoom in a little bit, and that's good right there. And we have this very interesting little bear creature here in my left hand. And then we have looks like a little letter almost, but a rabbit attached, and it says right here, what does that say?
Right there.
What's that say there?
The Velveteen Rabbit.
The Velveteen Rabbit. I'm sure you've seen many velveteen rabbits in our lives, right? But it really goes along with what's this?
The story of the Velveteen Rabbit.
Right. Did your teacher read this to you?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about the Velveteen Rabbit in this story. What happened in terms of you learning about this particular character or rabbit? How did you learn about it?
Let's see. Um, she just.
Did you read it? Did your teacher read it to you, or how did you hear about this particular story?
Um, our teacher read it to us.
In all one day, or did she do it over a period of several days?
She read it several days.
Okay. Now, I take it that you did you get a chance to ask questions about what she read, or was it just all listening?
We had a chance to ask questions.
Okay. I take it she read all this, and then was this something that you did as a follow-up to hearing about the Velveteen Rabbit?
Yes.
Okay, what is this thing? Can you tell me a little bit about what this is?
It's a little something that we did after we read the story of the Velveteen Rabbit.
Okay, what little something did you do? I think I opened it up, and there's all kinds of written words in here. What is this all about?
It's some of the copies of the words inside.
Some of the copies of the words inside. You mean what some of the characters said and what was said to each other in the story content?
Yeah.
Okay. Did your teacher read this to you, or what was the purpose of this?
Like we had raised our hands and remember some of the sentences that were in it. And then she would write them down, and then Mrs. Eichel, our teacher's aide, would go and copy them.
So this is like a summary of the story, and it was put together by what students had remembered about what they heard, right?
Right.
Well, that's great. Now, I take it that this was already printed up, so this was put together. And did you get to decorate this little, looks like a little summary album? Did you get to make this yourself?
Yeah.
So every student made one, huh?
Yeah.
And then what did you do with this after this was all completed?
Then we did the back cover, and then we wrote the end right there.
Oh, okay, we have to see this at home. See, here's the front of this little summary sheet that they created in class, and then there is a back to every story, or an end to every story, right? So you turn it around, and you can see the little bunny and his little cotton tail there, and it says, what does it say?
The end.
Very good. Clever way to summarize the story that you heard in class. I like that. Now, Gabe, is this little animal yours too?
Yeah.
Okay, now what about this did you want to share with us this evening?
This was around Martin Luther King's birthday because he cared for others and he helped the black people.
So this is a little Care Bear, right?
Right.
Now, if I open this, Inside, I have something, what, specially printed here?
Yes.
Did you print this?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if our cameraman can zoom in. I'm always curious to see if our camera is sharp enough to pick up some of these things. Oh boy, our cameraman's sharp tonight. Look at that. We can pick that up pretty well at home. We can see the printing, and I think you have something that's written here that you were going to read, right?
Right.
Okay, let's keep the camera on it. Why don't we just kind of zoom back in, and I'm going to turn it a little bit towards Gabe here, and he's going to read it for me.
A Care Bear poem. I have a bear that shares and cares. My Care Bear is fun. He cares for everyone.
Did you make that up?
No.
Okay. I take it was on the board and you copied it, right?
Right.
Ah, all right. And that's the end of that story. Well, that's good. Well, you worked on your printing and using capital letters and periods. Very, very good. And you said these Care Bears were made as a result of studying about the holiday for Luther King, right?
Right.
Very, very good. Well, thank you for what you shared. Thank you for being on Kids of Turtle Rock.
You're welcome.
Now, I come over here to Kristen. And Kristen, you have a few things here, and let's just hold it up and show the people at home. Boy, I tell you now, there's a clock of all clocks, right? That's what I need sometimes as my eyes start to go out. I can certainly read time on that very easily. And then you have this little clock here. Show us, let's turn that little clock around and show it. All right. Now, what do you do with that little clock, Kristen?
We tell time with it.
Okay, let's put it down. Okay, now, that would be at your desk, right, in class?
Right.
What's this big clock? Where's that used?
Up on the table for the teacher.
So I'm just guessing. Does the teacher take this and she sets this at a certain time and then she asks you to do the same with your little clocks?
Yes.
So if she takes this and she moves this big hand all the way down to the bottom, what time is that? Because you're just learning time now, right?
9:30.
Very good, because sometimes young people, when they first learn time, might have tripped on that and saw that this is a little bit closer to the 10, and they would have said, oh, that's 10:30. But really, our clocks make it such that the little hand sort of moves in between the 2 hours when the big hand is halfway through, and we have to be looking pretty sharp to see that, no, that's not 10:30, but like you said, 9:30. Now, if I bring it all the way around in this clock, boy, it has gears and everything, doesn't it? Up to the top, then what time do we have?
10 o'clock.
Well, you're right on the button. I'll tell you, that's pretty good. And you figured this out. How long did it take you to learn to figure it out?
A day.
1 day. Now, you're not working down like quarter hours yet, are you?
No.
That comes later.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm just going to just move this back one more time. And let's just see if we can figure this one out. Now, that's a simple one, right? What time is that?
8 o'clock.
Now, how would you make that show up on your clock? Let's say every student has one of these.
Put it to that time.
Okay, let's see if you did it right. Now turn it around. Let's see if people at home can see it. Let's move in, cameraman, and let's see if that's correct. Is it correct?
Yeah.
Sure. You know when you're right. Good job. And if I just move that around, let's just see if you did pick that up real well. What time would that be?
8:30.
Can't fool you, can we?
Nope.
But one more while I'm here. It's just got to be a way and fool her. Okay. What's that?
3:30.
Is that right at home? I think she's right. By golly, I am impressed. Let's put that clock down. And you have another little item right here that you're going to share. And it says on the outside, what does it say?
It's about time.
It's about time. Can we zoom in on that? Here we go. Yeah, that's what it says. And it says by Kristen there. Now, if I open that up, we have all kinds of little clocks in there. What are those clocks for?
For you to write things down on the bottom the same time.
So these clocks already have hours indicated, and sometimes by the half hour. These are all by the full hour. And you have to write down below the proper way to say 10, 11, 12 o'clock, right?
Right.
So if I cover that up, and I just did this by choice, and I have you look at that clock right there, what time does that clock right there say?
7 o'clock.
My golly, that's true. Let's see if I look down there. It says 7 o'clock. You have that right. Okay, let's turn a page here. I'm just real curious. I'm just going to pick another one. People at home probably think we practiced this, but we really didn't. Okay, now here's some on the half hour. What does that clock right there say?
12:30.
Now I'm going to have to turn that around and look at it. And let's see. It looks like 12:30. That's what you wrote underneath there, and it must be right, and you're correct. You had to kind of look at that one. That one's sort of drawn with a challenge, isn't it?
Right?
Yeah, right. Well, you did a very nice job. And then we keep looking back. Oh, your teacher had a real clever idea here. She kind of works with your schedule, doesn't she? Let's see if we can bring that in with our television camera. We have times back here that are really important times. For example, it talks about right here. What is this time? 8:05.
The morning when school starts.
Very good. And this one, 11:30 is.
Lunchtime.
And then there's a lot later hour here, 7 o'clock. And what is that supposed to be for?
Dinner.
Very good. I tell you, you are so sharp at doing this. I would love to talk to you longer, Kristen, but we have a few other students. So thank you for being on Kids of Turtle Rock.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let's come over here, and we have a new table. And let's